Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
I'm Katie.
And I should have something clever to say right here.
Insert clever thing.
So would that be the first time for that, or?
Oh, first time of me being clever.
Yes.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I was
Very
clever.
good. If you'd like to insult Mr. Daps on my behalf, please join us with the hashtag Geeks Corner. Or, talk nice at us, because this is actually a very friendly show, and we all like each other. And we like you, too, our viewers. Hashtag Geeks Corner.
That was really
Thanks
good.
to viewers like you.
That's like the PBS sponsor.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
This program, the following program,
Was
Has
made
been brought to you
possible.
by a generous donation of
So let's
schmeckles.
go from happy PBS land to not so happy Star Wars land. Apparently, there's some unhappy people in the world of Han Solo because today it was announced that the directors of Han Solo, the movie, were fired.
Out of a cannon.
No, that was Gonzo.
Oh,
Yeah. So
same difference. They almost get a coffee sweating.
So
That's
Christopher Miller, Phil Lord, no longer working on Han Solo. This was it 5 months after they started filming? So they've been filming since February, working on this film for 5 months, and then gone. And
So-
basically, from what I understand, it's because they're very off, shooting off the hip, comedic directors and.
You
Lawrence
keep saying,
Kasdan.
we discussed this before, and you kept saying shooting off the hip. I'm like, Han Solo, like...
Yeah, okay, bad.
But did
bad.
he shoot first?
Yes.
Yes, he
Shooting
did shoot
first
first.
from
Only
the hip.
shot. But Lawrence Kasdan is a very much I wrote this script to do it exactly as I wrote it type guy, and he really basically created, like, he added all the depth to Han Solo. So it appears that Lawrence Kasdan won and they did not. So now they're looking for new directors. First off, before we get into new directors, what do you think about the firing of the old directors?
Again, with it being 5 months, you said, right? That's quite a bit of footage. Like, it's not forever in movie time, but like that's a good amount of camaraderie that has been built with the actors to the production side. It's going to be an interesting tonal shift. I worry about the performances they're going to be getting out of that after that. However, if it's to protect...
Well, and it's 5 months of dailies.
Yeah.
Like, there's already a lot of editing that's happened in this film.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if it's to protect what ultimately will be a good representation of Han Solo, might be for the best.
I'm not going to celebrate anyone losing their jobs. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I do think Han Solo needs to be accurately represented. And him being some huge comedic character isn't Han Solo. And for everything to be like a wacky, zany adventure. Like, it's like the Lando and Han buddy cop movie that we were joking about. That, like, it can't be real. We need to actually take it seriously. So I'm excited that at least Han will be protected. Protect my child.
So who should protect him?
Me.
You want to be the director?
At all
nice.
costs.
You want to direct the new Han Solo movie?
Yeah.
Do you have a vision for this?
No.
Okay.
It's a
Han
tough
Solo.
job, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's...
It's actually, I think, a tougher job than Rogue One was.
Yeah.
Because Rogue One, at least you were,
Fresh to the characters.
fresh set of characters, and yes, there's some people you know, but in general, there's a lot of safe, like,
You're allowed creative freedom. Like,
Yeah.
to an extent, and even then, they didn't get full creative freedom because Gareth Edwards was kind of pulled away from it at the end and replaced anyway.
Yeah.
So,
But,
who
like,
do you go?
this
The
is
rumor is Ron
established.
Howard or Joe Johnston.
Mm.
Who would you like to see direct? I'm curious. Anybody have thoughts?
We had a good discussion, just kind of a pre-show, by the way, behind the scenes. We were trying to think of directors we'd like to see in this role, and I think we got about 50 directors that would not be good for it, for every maybe one that might,
It was literally just throwing out names. Wouldn't it be so funny?
if this person did it and completely ruin the franchise.
So who do you think should really do it?
I don't know. That is.
I like the Jon Favreau idea. Like, I actually think he could pull off the right tone and pacing
Example
for
by
this.
what movies he's done.
Iron Man.
See, Iron Man, I can see that because Stark's kind of that smarm.
It's not the Stark thing. He knows how to go into a genre and capture the feel of it and tell the story that needs to be told. I think he did that with Jungle Book also. I think that's why they brought him on for Lion King, which is why he won't be doing this movie, even though he could be. Or he would be good at it, I think. But he has an ability to really put himself into where the story should be, not necessarily what it could be.
So we need like a director, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, pretty much. Because that's really, when it comes to the Star Wars films, you have to keep it a Star Wars film. You can't go too far off in one direction or another, because if people walk in or walk out of the movie and like, that wasn't Star Wars, that damages the brand. And
so you got to stay on target.
Yes.
Stay on target.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. I'm looking on Twitter. We have one suggestion by Jason, who's sitting in the third row, who says, "Well, George Lucas." Oh wait.
Young upstart George Lucas.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He's kind of new to the game. I don't know if he really grasps these characters.
Yeah, I don't know if we can trust him.
That's true.
Whoa.
To represent the characters accurately.
That was dangerous, I feel like. And yeah. I think, just speaking of things that you shouldn't trust people with, we should take a break really quick while you guys throw in some more director ideas. Tyler, we have a gift. This is a gift.
No.
From yes.
No.
Do you want to know?
Show this gift.
Dun, 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 dun.
So this would be the first Instagram from your father.
Yep.
You can
official
go back.
father of Geeks Corner.
Yep, there we go. There we go.
Yep, that's good.
How much I've
Definitely.
grown.
Look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
Oh gosh, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I just like that your straw is all the way in your cup and you're having to actively go mouth into the
better
cup.
than being in her nose. Just saying.
You look so disappointed in life
So,
in general.
looking at the date that was posted, though, that was 3 years ago yesterday.
Is it really?
Yeah, because I realized my nails were painted for graduation, and I graduated 3 years ago.
Wow.
I do run all the time by nails.
Well, I can't paint my nails because Starbucks. But that was
A
go
memorable
follow my
day.
dad on Instagram. I guess.
I'm so happy for you. All right. Any other suggestions for, legitimately, who directs this?
My dad.
Whoever does has got a monumental task, especially with all of the stuff with people leaving now, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an almost impossible task. I don't have a good answer for who.
You basically just need a good cleanup back. Like it's kind of like the pitchers that come in the baseball game for the last 2 innings. You basically need. I mean, they could even get the guy that did Rogue One at the end, who came in and cleaned it up.
But that was like this much of the work. They've got a good chunk done, but there's still a whole lot of movie left to go. Like
sure.
It's
but I just
tough,
think
man.
when you have a Lawrence Kasdan screenplay, like that's the hard part, was the screenplay. You stick with the screenplay, so he shoots it and keeps Lawrence happy.
So what we need is a director that is just
a team player.
Yeah, just exists.
Well, he's a manager more than a creative person. I think that's the problem, because they legitimately did part ways because of creative differences. All right, we want to hear. We didn't get enough names,
Please,
so
yeah,
let us know in the
it's tough.
comments. Tweet at us with Geeks Corner. We'll see if we come up with any by the end of the show. Cars 3 came out this last weekend. We went and saw it over the weekend. Thank you, Nana. That was wonderful for moving the mic or the camera. But why don't you go ahead first, Katie? What did you think of Cars 3?
I loved it so much, and everyone around me knew it because I was a sniffling baby. It was so good.
That was an understatement, but keep going.
I actually had to make a choice at one point. I was like, am I going to breathe through my nose or my mouth?
At one point, the entire row, both sides of me, I could see go like this.
Because if I went through my nose, it was a
Good
huge
choreography, by the
sniff,
way.
and if I was through my mouth, it was a and
That
so-
happened too.
Yeah, it did.
It was
so,
it was
Cars 3
fantastic.
was fantastic, and I loved it.
Favorite character?
That is a tough question.
No spoilers,
really-
just favorite character.
What was the name of Nathan Fillion's character?
Sterling.
Sterling.
There was a lot of depth to that character.
There was.
There was.
There was a lot of depth to the movie, I thought,
Yep.
in general, that I thought was a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
I think pleasantly surprised is my description in general. I was not expecting much from this film, and it really surprised me.
Yeah.
I agree. Nana's about to take out our camera. It's really
So
fun.
It's
cute.
adorable. You're missing all
She's
the
like
action.
cuddling the tripod, and it's very dangerous, but it is what it is. Yeah, I actually thought it was really good. It surprised me a lot, and I didn't have low expectations for it, but I definitely wasn't. Like the first one I enjoyed. It was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
But it didn't blow me out of the water. I just liked it. And the second one was like, oh, I like this. This is James Bond with cars. So I've never really watched
James Bond's always had cars, though.
James Bond as cars.
Oh, there. See,
That's what I meant. And then this one, I felt really related almost more to like Toy Story 3.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And they
Oh,
took
yeah.
a fun thing and then they actually added a lot to it. And
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job. And I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
I was not expecting that emotional depth out of it. I didn't think they could pull it out of
Yeah,
this. It was
yeah.
good.
Well, and you would.
If
think
you
that-
cry in movies, you're going to cry in this one.
I don't normally cry in movies. It's the thing. But I cried many. The thing was, you can't usually get an emotional depth out of this without feeling forced.
Yeah.
Especially if the two lead ups haven't been that much depth. So the fact that it was a true punch in the gut at some points, and you actually felt it. I think it was really well done.
I'm looking forward to seeing all the bonus features for this
Oh
one.
I thought you were going to say Cars 4, because I'm like, it's happening now.
It
Oh,
is. It
yeah,
totally
that'll
is.
happen. And don't go to Disneyland if you don't want spoilers.
Because
Very
they're on.
true.
They're on.
We were
Cars.
at
Spoilers.
Disneyland the day before it came out, I guess. Hadn't seen the movie yet, and we saw one of these spoilers, and it wasn't enough so that I knew what happened, but it did make me go, wait, why? And
then
we were
once we got in
talking
the
about it,
movie-
and then we saw the movie, and it all made sense. But it was like, oh,
they're
that
really
was an
big
interesting
spoilers.
choice.
Big spoilers. A lot of downdraft when you're racing.
I already made that joke.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I missed it completely. I'm very sorry.
Listening's a good idea.
It is.
No
It's
one
very
ever
good.
listens
You
to me. It's
you
fine.
listen and then react.
Acting.
What is
is
acting?
reacting.
Yes.
There is that. And we're back.
Yes. Good job, everybody.
Go team.
Over the weekend, also the Disneyland Resort All-American College Band what would they call it? The 2017 Disneyland. Except now they put it in the middle. Did you notice that? It's Disneyland Resort 2017 All-American College Band.
It depends on when Bill says it, though.
No, that's the way they did it in all of them in our videos. I was shocked. But then Dr. Ron McCurdy says it the other way. So it's messed up. But anyway, the band's back.
Messed up.
They came back on Thursday. We've all had the chance to see them now. Who's really excited? Katie wants to talk about them.
I love them. It's just so much fun. And then whenever I look at them, I'm always like, you're all my age, and you're way more talented than I am. And then I have an existential crisis. But for the most part,
But then you remember you're on a YouTube show,
exactly.
right?
It makes up for everything. I can't.
It does. Look
I'm
at this.
artistic, but
It's
I'm
all
on
about you,
YouTube.
the fans. You're what give us meaning.
When you, yeah, it's true.
Was that what it is?
It's true.
I thought it was all about the coffee. That's why I keep coming back.
That's the only reason I'm here.
That and Tater Groot. Hashtag Tater Groot if you want more pictures.
Hashtag Tater Groot. Hashtag Geeks Corner.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Kai.
Hashtag Geeks Corner ST if you want to see our Star Trek review tonight after we watch Star Trek.
And hashtag Mangoes, because they really need some help, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your favorite song you saw over the weekend?
It's really hard to not love the Earth, Wind, and Fire medley.
Yeah.
Like it's every year they do it.
I thought for sure you were going to say Moana,
Moana
though.
medley.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
impressed
the
with it,
Earth,
to be
Wind, and
completely
Fire,
honest.
Like it's a favorite. It's a classic. They do it every single year. But the Moana medley,
Stevie Wonder's pretty good, too.
wasn't expecting it. I gasped, and I also it's like a Moana, and I went oh, and then I started recording. It was very good.
Your favorite?
The Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's another thing.
That might be my favorite, and that's a new one from last year.
Good. Yeah, I know they did it last year, which was
Yeah.
the first time I really paid attention to them much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love the Star Wars one.
And you can see them Monday through Friday at the Disneyland Resort. They're all over the place. I'm not going to try. There's an article on DAPs Magic that says where you can find them and when. It's actually pinned to the top, so you can find it really easy, and we'll keep that for a couple more days. If not, just go search Disneyland Resort All-American College Band, and you'll find it. Probably find it if you just search College Band, to be completely honest.
Yep.
I believe we have a meme. Is that correct, Mr. Producer? So Bailey likes to make us these memes, and sometimes she thinks it's just okay, but everyone loves it.
It's true.
When is that picture from?
That was from
Oh, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Make a meme, post it. You think it's okay. Everybody
I love
loves it.
it.
We do love
like
it.
the memes.
We do.
We love The memes.
Other new thing that has come to the Disneyland Resort is an old thing, and it's a Tom Sawyer Island. Have we all gotten to go out in it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's really fun. It's a pirate's lair on Tom Sawyer's Island, so yes, I am correct. That was a firework, and
Yep.
Nana heard it. And she did. I'm curious to see what the 4th of July is like. She's
That's
like
a face.
so alert. But wish you could all see what we see.
It's true.
Tom Sawyer Island.
Yes,
Go ahead. What'd you think of it?
I love it. So
I love the views you get from it now.
yes, so they have cleared away a lot of some of the sight lines, especially with the trees, so that you can see more out when you're on the island. And just in general, kind of spruced it up. They didn't do a huge amount different on it.
It's pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just everything's nice, and but it feels. I love the island in general because it's just so rustic and separated from the rest of the park.
And there's dirt.
Yes, like it feels good to get out.
You're walking
there.
on dirt. It's great.
Yep.
I have no idea.
So I enjoy it. I like it more now, but I've always loved it. It's a good place to go.
And if you can't get to the park, we have videos up that Murray and I filmed, and so you can see them on dapsmagic.com. And there's even a 360 video. And you can either look at the island or you can look at Murray's ear.
That's a good option. It's a very good option.
It's pretty cool. In fact, I probably shouldn't say this, but I was amused by it. Is somebody left us a comment that said, "How come you put a video of the guy's ear?" And then somebody else was like, "Will you just drag?"
Somebody spent the whole video watching his ear.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me happy.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I thought it was funny.
made me
I
smile.
apologize if that was you, but it did make me smile the other morning. They also announced when Fantasmic is returning. They announced when Mark Twain and Columbia is returning, and the Disneyland Railroad is returning, which, can I just say, that is looking awesome.
Yes.
The
Yes.
new path for the Disneyland Railway around the...
It goes left.
Can I tell you how many people have told me about how it goes left and where it goes left? It's really funny. They're like, right there, it's going to go left. It's going to be the first time.
It's always that hush tone like David Attenborough.
Yes. So right over there.
Right there.
But left. That's where it goes left. Anyway, what do you think of this? I think it's July 29th. Is that the right
For the
day,
railroad.
Murray?
Yeah.
The railroad and the boats come back, and then and canoes too. Don't forget the canoes.
Yep.
You're gonna be able to go faster on the canoes around the rivers of America than ever before.
Oh, I'm excited to all have
Record
back.
time. Just think, what do they? Don't they have those canoe races?
New races will come
The
back
canoe
next
races.
year.
There's gonna be a ton of new records because everybody's gonna be like, bam, done.
Let's see, 3 minutes instead of 4 or 3:50.
I feel like they have to like mathematically change it and go by speed
You gotta
now
sit
instead
here for
of
45 seconds before you start.
right. Like I don't know.
I'm really
Just
excited
use
to have it
rubber
back.
duckies.
If just, I mean, I'm very excited about all the options, the entertainment options and attraction and everything. But I think overall, I'm most excited about how many people those things eat up.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna alleviate crowds
Yeah.
so much. And I'm very excited for that.
I just hope they're not all on those because I want to ride on the Mark Twain and the train.
Yep.
Fantasmic's coming back on the 17th of July. Happy birthday, Disneyland. That's pretty much the best present you could give the park, I think, is having that nighttime show. It's going to have some changes. There's pirates, there's princes that fly, all sorts of things like that. What do we think of this?
It's good. It's an evolving show, and I think it's good to add some stuff to it.
How much risk do you think there is?
Very little, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, well, Disney fans will always be Disney fans, and there will always be pushback. But if you're adapting and you're appeasing the populace at large by giving new and exciting things, it's not going to be a problem. There'll be those loud voices that don't like it, but
I will say the track record of, say, Guardians being a prime example is very good. Like, I feel like they're headed in the right direction, and I think the closest I could come up with for recent new nighttime spectaculars was what they keep doing in Shanghai, and everything I see at night in Shanghai looks amazing. I think there is a risk messing with arguably one of the best nighttime shows they've ever had, and when you go from a show that's pretty darn close to perfect and you play with it, there's always a risk that you burn yourself.
Think about Main Street Electrical Parade and how many iterations there have been and how they've
Yeah.
changed out floats and that's a classic. That is a Disneyland classic, but that parade was thriving off change in its
Yeah.
peak. So yeah, people are gonna get upset and people are gonna get angry, but I mean, it's
See, the way I think they should do it is change it every 5 years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Just keep
because
things fresh.
and make new Fantasias too.
I don't
Like
think
I think you could do.
you shouldn't limit yourself by even a timeline. Just change it when it needs changing.
Yeah.
That might
Like-
be a year, it might be a decade.
Right, or if like, honestly, if I were in charge of Fantasmic in Florida, Moana would be in that instead of Pocahontas, and I would shorten it. Like, wouldn't that be fun?
Oh yeah.
Like, it'd be a great middle section, I think. That just popped into my head as we're
And of
sitting
course,
here.
you're always going to disappoint somebody. I know my wife is a huge fan of Pocahontas, and removing her is equivalent to sin. But, yeah, you got to keep moving forward for the population at large.
Speaking of Main Street Electric Parade, should we go there?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. It just celebrated its 45th anniversary on Saturday. We were on
Happy
hand to
anniversary.
film this 45th anniversary. That they had these fun little signs that you could take pictures of that I couldn't find till Sunday.
Yep.
I was like, oh, there they are, a day late. Oh, well. But I know they existed. I saw people getting pictures. I just wasn't able to find one in time. So what, first off, is your favorite part of the electrical parade? And second off, since we are talking about changes, if you had the ability to add something to the electrical parade, actually substitute something for the
Yeah, you
electrical
gotta replace
parade,
something. That's important.
because it's a replacement, it always is, what would you do?
Favorite, I know off the top of my head, is the Americana at the end.
Okay.
I love it. It's so good.
Goes with beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have a favorite?
Mine's Pete's Dragon.
Add
Also good choice.
Cinderella.
That's my first memory from Disneyland is the Pete's Dragon float.
Like that whole Nancy section with the
Yeah.
prince and the
Yeah.
slippers and stuff. Fair.
Cool. And for the substitution.
That's tough.
Dun 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 dun.
I do have an answer for this.
Oh,
Okay,
go ahead.
go for it.
Bring
Lead
back
on.
the It's a Small World float.
Yes.
Bring it back and switch it
Would
out
you
with
update it or
Pinocchio.
something though, or?
Yes, I was agreed with. Would I update it?
Yeah, like what? Do you want exactly what was already there? Because I don't think that's actually true to the nature of my question.
I've seen very brief videos of what it looked like. I don't know, dude.
What would you like to see though? Would you?
Small World.
Okay, just want Small World.
I love Small World.
Bailey says, I never knew I wanted to see a new Fantasia movie until now.
Thanks, Mr. Daps. Hashtag.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Mr. Daps.
I would also replace the super creepy clown Pinocchio float. I would replace it with because I think it needs.
So Pinocchio also.
Yes.
Yeah, get rid of Pinocchio.
Okay.
I would replace because I think it needs to be a classic thing as well. I would love to see Cruella de Vil in her roadster. How amazing would that be? Like lights of the eyes going crazy. And
Yes.
yep.
Yes.
And so would there be a bunch of dogs walking around too, or how would that work?
You can have dogamatronics or something. But
Nope.
Dogamatronics.
Real
There's the new
Word.
hashtag dogamatronics. Hashtag Geeks Corner.
Roger Rodriguez says, Goofy driving the train is my favorite part of the Main Street Electrical Parade. That is magical. There's
Yeah.
something very iconic. I would say almost that and Elliot are the two most iconic. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what's the most photographed.
I think it would have to be Elliot, probably most
You think?
photographed. Well, look
Yeah.
at what was most prominent in every advertisement for the electric.
True.
show.
Even in that big, yeah.
That or
Bugs.
the
Oh yeah,
skinny woobly
the little
bugs.
spinny bugs, the
Yep.
woobly bugs.
The woobly
You want to
bugs.
do your impression of them real quick?
Like the.
Yeah, that one.
That's
Very good.
Catch him in the Main Street Electrical Parade every night.
6 years, Juilliard.
You just reminded me of Alan Tudyk.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That was good. I don't actually know what I would replace it with, but I kind of think I would replace the Snow White box. Like I don't even. It's supposed to be their mine or something. Like
Oh, yes.
every time I see that, I just kind of find myself wishing for more. And so I would either completely redesign it to make it more fluid instead of boxy, or I'd completely replace it and
I've always just wanted the dwarves to actually just be walking in a line. I think that's
yeah,
what
I think I would take away their float and then let them walk as a unit and just have Dopey driving their thing, and that'd be fine. And then it kind of does have to be an older an older movie.
You want to know the first thought I had that totally wouldn't work because it was put Tron in there.
Okay.
That would be terrible. Like not even the same light spectrum, like all the glowy LED.
No, I like the idea of it being a paint the night style float, and it's right in the middle of EP, so you actually think that like you imagined it. You're like,
did that just happen?
and it zips by so fast. You're like,
And they use the hologram technology to actually show the guy from it, like just yeah, I'm all about it.
Well, I feel like the one they really need to add is a Sleeping Beauty unit, because you have Snow White, you have Cinderella, and kind of those classic princesses. She's the one that's not
Sleeping
getting.
unit.
Yeah, you could have Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. If you tweet at us, then we'll know that actually makes it into the show. And
So Disney, if you're listening,
Sleeping Beauty.
we're here for you.
So
I
of the
think that's a good choice.
three, which one do
I
you
think
think?
Sleeping Beauty probably would be the best choice, especially for the West Coast part.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's great. Final topic of tonight is the Summer of Heroes continues to grow, and they added a showcase, which you can see the Avengers costumes in the lobby, and then you can go in and see a compilation, I guess, that tells you the last 10 years of Marvel and then kind of hints at where it's going to go a little bit. Really, it's a very small hint from what I observed, but it's kind of, it's an important hint.
It's a lot of recap. I mean, I didn't.
It's
I
Path of
knew-
the Jedi for Marvel.
But I didn't realize. I knew how much they had done, but then you watch that and you're like, oh yeah, there's still a lot more, and there's still things.
Does it seem like 10 years to people?
I don't. No. I mean, it's.
Really?
There's no space in between.
Because to me, it almost feels like it was longer than 10 years from Iron Man. Like, Iron Man seems like so...
I feel like that's a shorter amount of time, but I feel like I've forgotten half the content they've done. There's a lot of it. It's really good. It's just there's so much of it, and you forget how much of it is tied together, which speaks highly to the MCU. But I
thought it was funny that the only representation of the Hulk movie is the hand going up. And it's like,
oh yeah, they did that.
we're not going to acknowledge the rest of that movie, but we're going to show that it exists.
Like when Ant-Man came on, it even was like,
That was
oh
so
yeah,
fun.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Paul Rudd did an amazing job in that movie, and I love that film. But that there's so much that I had forgotten about that completely.
So if you could take any of the characters that we've already seen and give them another movie, which one would you do?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question.
I've been practicing my interview skills. Trying to get better.
It would be tough because they don't own all of the mutant stuff, but Scarlet Witch would be really good.
Okay.
Loki would make a great standalone film. All the stuff that happened in the interim of him being gone would be really fun. And there's so much they could pull from the comics for that kind of thing.
Black Widow.
Yep.
I want to know what happened in Budapest.
Yep. And it could be like a spy espionage.
How would they do that? Just out of curiosity.
How would they do a Black Widow movie?
It's 007. Like, it's like they would do a spy movie.
Well, I'm just saying the actors are aging.
Oh, like how would they...
Like mine's literally, are they going to use CGI and de-age like they did in...
Robert Downey Jr. and... Ooh.
Which kind of worked, and then it kind of worked in Pirates of the Caribbean, but at the same time, there's that weird... Like, it's just not perfect yet, and as good as it's gotten, it's not great.
Yeah.
See, the good news is I don't think they need to worry about that too much, because in the comic canons that they're pulling from, where they're at right now, there's even more content later. Like, they don't have to go back too much.
So they can just keep moving forward.
Yeah, and them as old characters, which I really hope these actors stick around to do. Like, old Thor is some of the coolest stuff ever.
Well,
I would love to see
Peggy
that.
Carter made it to be old.
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of. I mean, it counts.
Yeah. I'm just saying that I don't think they need to go back. They could do like Black Widow, but I don't think they could do that movie for like another decade. Like
And recast it.
yeah, and then
I
do
think
a
that's the
younger
way you'd have to
actors
do
for
it.
that, yeah.
Like, that would really be the way to do it. Yeah, okay. So you said Black Widow, you said
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Okay.
Female roles.
Yeah!
Yes.
That's like 3 high fives in one show.
That's pretty good.
So proud of you guys.
We know how to high five. It's fun.
Yeah.
I just want more Ant-Man.
us.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, it kind of surprised me as I was thinking through the Summer of Heroes showcase. I was like, I really just want more Ant-Man. Like, he's so ridiculously fun.
And that's a credit to Paul Rudd, too.
Oh, yeah.
He is one of the best castings of characters to superhero role.
Well, and I'll admit, there were some graphics in that movie that kind of make me cringe a little bit, especially at the end. But I didn't care because I was having so much fun watching the movie. Like, it really was a solid, fun superhero movie of a not-so-super guy. And that makes it even more fun. You should do an article on that.
Yep. Well, I mean, think about how you remember Ant-Man from the Avengers movie when he's only in it during the biggest fight in the thing and Spider-Man's reveal. Like, there's no reason he should stand out at all, but you remember him.
Because he's amazing.
And giant, but...
Yeah. Spider-Man's gonna be fun, too. We got 2 more of those movies coming out, so that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Also
Well,
good casting.
three total, but 2 that are solely his. The third one's an Avengers. He's got 3 more movies that are specifically Spider-Man.
Doing a trilogy.
Yeah, I know, but I was already counting the first one is already here. You're right. It's a trilogy.
It's not out yet.
That's right. In my head, it's like, it's already here. So, yes, there's 3 Spider-Man standalone movies, which will be fantastic. And that makes him ineligible for my question, because he doesn't have his own movie yet.
That's true. I'm worried
Although we
about
could
the
say the
movies.
other. You're worried about what?
Spider-Man's got a curse right now as far as standalone films. I'm worried.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling about this one.
He's such a good actor.
We should take a note that Steven says it doesn't feel like 10 years, but only because I've been time traveling a lot lately.
That's true.
That's fair.
That helps.
that is
Bailey, going back to the Main Street Electrical Parade, says Maleficent Dragon from Festival of Fantasy, but with the lights that still breathes fire.
Oh,
Needs
yeah.
to be added.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tron is more paint the night instead of Main Street Electrical Parade. Bailey also commented.
Yep, I agree.
William says Tron and Main Street Electrical Parade. Haha, that actually could work really well.
I like the idea of that as a villain chuckle. Ha ha!
Oh, there, that would have been better. Steven also said Sword and Stone float to replace the weird tent thing those poor people have to carry. So that'd be the Cinderella unit.
Yes.
The Royal, whatever they're called.
The court.
I like actually weird tent thing better than Royal
Weird
Court.
tent thing.
Yeah.
The weird
Oh,
tent
yeah.
thing portion.
Yeah.
Sword in the Stone, though, is he just trying to pull it out the whole parade? Like...
We also have a nomination from William Fonda for us to dedicate an entire episode of Geeks Corner to the upcoming Spider-Man movie. We'll see if that can happen.
Possible.
It is.
It is quite possible. I feel like we need to have Murray on that show as well. Right? Yeah. And Stephen also says the Uncanny Valley issue is less jarring the less time the CGI face stays on screen.
That's very true.
Rogue
It
One
tastefully-
did well and poorly with this, and that's absolutely correct. They nailed it in one case, and they didn't quite nail it in the other case.
And it can be used well, and they have used it well. Like, what was the movie about creation of Facebook? There was CGI in that, like, a lot, and you didn't notice it. They can
Yeah.
be done well. It just has to be subtle.
Yep, it has to be settled. All right, well, that is all the time we have for you this week.
Well, you should probably go over to the geekscorner.com, because that's where this happens. But a lot, you can see our whole canon of stuff that we've talked about in the past.
Go to dapsmagic.com. Find all the articles of stuff that we talk about on Geeks Corner every week, and all the stuff that we can't necessarily touch on that we post every single day.
And make sure to follow us on social media, and we will respond to you every time you tweet at us.
Every single time.
We try.
really need
Just
100%
make sure you use the hashtag Geeks Corner so we actually see it. But that's the easiest way to find us is look for that hashtag.
Terms and
But
conditions apply.
we hope that next week will be a little bit cooler in here as you see Cameron glistening a little bit. But
I'm warm.
for tonight, we're going to say goodnight, and we'll see you around the corner.